child psychology, education, and teaching. Today is July 17, 2023. This is Miss Eva Lewis Brown. As an infant, after I left the reservation, I was taken to a house in Crittenden County, the city of Earl, Arkansas. And there, my people would come there to visit. And a male and his spouse came for a visit whenever they want to come. They were always welcome. And who we know has an input with any machine ever invented. And this woman had developed a song, or composed a song, his wife. They had 4 girls. And but they were teenagers. The girls were teenagers. They had developed the song. She had developed the song, and she wants to sing to the baby. In those days, women did not show very friendliness or acquaintance with anyone's kid other than their own. And they were not allowed to speak or wear pants unless the male permits it. Pants definitely a no-no. But the speaking, if he give you permission to speak, when you're in public or at home, if he tell you to shut up, you shut up. But she developed a song and she wants to come and sing to the baby. And believe me, you would think this woman is singing to 250,000 people. She's standing there with her arms all formatedly formed. She got her hand all like an opera singer or something. And she sings, "What a beautiful brown baby. What a beautiful brown baby." And then they said, she gonna sing anything else? Well, those are the only Indian words that she had composed. And when she get down and complete singing a song, and then he tells her to go and go to a chair and sit down, and she go and sit down. You wouldn't understand that unless you was looking at her with the naked eye and in spirit. That woman was coming through every generation on this land of over 900 million years, and that's what she was singing. And as she sang, "What a beautiful, beautiful brown baby," that got their attention in spirit of them that was going on. And she was very happy about that. So one day they was late coming. They had scheduled a visit, and they was late coming to visit. And they asked the trucker and said, "Did you pass the old man and his wife on the highway, old woman?" He said, "Yeah, I passed them on highway such and such. They was going about 35 miles an hour. He was driving that fast." He said, "Oh, he was?" Well, he said, "I just wanted to know, make sure that he was coming for the visit, because he had scheduled." And this man had a savings. Of course, he had 4 or 5 other bank accounts, but he had something that he had saved from a land resource. And he said he's not going to deposit the money until she's old enough to understand it where I can speak to her. So when I got to be the age of 5, his wife was keeping account of the money and telling him what season to deposit it. And that's how I became. It was enough savings for me to own 11% of Bank of Oklahoma. That's how I got my first account with Bank of Oklahoma established at 11%. And it stayed at 11% until I got raped. I was raped by Jim DeRosset. November 1978. And And yeah, him and his nation and all involved, they had to pay. So that moved me up to 17%. And then you rate Charles Brown, and that ended up to be 400,000 trillion megatrillion, 85% of their treasury. That moved me only up to 35%. Then you start to say, that's why I had his ass Wrexham. I can't stand her and her new song, her and her non-stupid song. I can't stand her and her non-stupid restaurant. Them girls always did think they was so much. Look at it out there with them homeless people. That's why I made that vehicle title. That's why I had his ass Wrexham. As such, January 2016, my son was en route to work, being a truck driver, and on the ice on the Illinois bridge, his car overturned and flipped 2 times over into a cornfield. And the dumbass Indians that was involved in it sued 12 of their nations, took 4 of the nation's treasuries, and that moved me up to 78% ownership of Bank of America. January 2016, I was walking across the public parking lot on West Manatee Avenue in Bradenton, Florida, when I got the phone call from his girlfriend that he was in a trauma center here in Springfield, Illinois, during the 6 a.m. hour or 5 o'clock a.m. hour. He was on his way to work. Of course, we have much ice in January sometimes, ice and snow, and he had just passed the bridge and his car flipped over 2 times and landed in a cotton field, and they had him in a trauma center. So that's how I got the other 12 nations and legals, because my elders told them, you make amends and pay that what your treasury had, and some they forced to release it, or they was going to bring them to the other side. And they would have done it. And they know they would have done it. And we used their Constitution. In their Constitution it says, they shall not interfere or impede with another nation's doing. In his case, he was en route to his workplace, and they interfered with what he was doing, trying to go to work, because of the Satanism of 860 million years that they have in them. So I am presently in a building that the district has bought, and we are to be in a demolition eviction, and everyone must go by on July 31. And at this moment, I have nowhere to go, because those Indians, satanic Indians, keep hoodooing and voodooing Marcus Rogers and the village Jerome and his family, and other Indians have investigated to see when Marcus Rogers' hoodoo and voodoo began against him, and he was in the embryo status of his mother's womb that wanted to be called or termed an African prince queen. And she's not of that. She's born of Mexico descent. But she wanted to be termed an African queen and rule them out of the Black Force and Satanism. And many do believe her as that. That's how Marcus Rogers got sent to the state of Alabama prison. So on this day, July 17, 2023, I ask that you keep us in your prayers for what we are about to endure, and pray for the homeless that's suffering from others' vengeance as well. July 17, 2023. Zebulon Brown here in Springfield, Illinois.